While I understand the necessity of these lockdowns and stay-at-home orders to fight the coronavirus, I think I can speak for a majority of Americans when I say we're tired of these lockdowns. Many of us just want to go back to work, earn an income, a paycheck, do something else aside from staying at home and isolating ourselves and doing nothing. But apparently, that message is not being received in the state of Michigan. More specifically, the governor of Michigan, Governor Gretchen Whitmer. On Thursday, Whitmer decided to issue new executive orders which extends the lockdown and stay-at-home orders till May 28th. And many people in Michigan are livid about this. Heavily livid. Part of it's due to economic concerns, some of it over the issue of the violation of the state constitution. It has gone so bad that hundreds of protesters have actually rallied outside the state capitol building to protest these issues, going so far as to violate the social distancing norms. That's just how bad the situation is developing in Michigan, and even lawyers are expressing their discontent as a result with these executive orders. Now, I understand why at the very beginning that Governor Gretchen Whitmer decided to issue these executive orders. It makes complete sense because Michigan is one of several states that was hard hit due to the coronavirus. According to NPR, they have 41,000 confirmed cases of COVID-19 and over 3,700 deaths. And I would understand the use of the lockdown and stay-at-home orders in order to potentially prevent any further infection within the state. However, this has caused a lot of issues because, according to the state constitution, while the governor does have the ability to issue proclamations, to issue executive orders, these executive orders in regards to emergency last for 28 days. Then, at the very end of 28 days, the governor must terminate that unless the governor requires the consent from the legislature to extend the executive orders. It even outlines in specifically the Michigan Emergency Management Act of 1976. In section 3, part 4, it says here, after 28 days, the governor shall continue an executive order or proclamation declaring the state of emergency terminated, unless a request by the governor for an extension of the state of emergency for a specific number of days is approved by resolution of both houses of the legislature. Here's the thing. Governor Whitmer decided to go ahead with the extension despite the fact that the legislature, which by the way is heavily controlled by the Republicans, decided to say no. She went out of her way to violate that law, to violate the Constitution, to violate the structure and how the governor would handle states of emergency. She went out of her way to do that, and many people, as a result, are protesting outside the state capitol building, warning that this is a violation of the Constitution and their rights as a result. Of course, like I said before, a lot of people are also rallying against this, saying that Michigan should open up its economy again. Because after all, thanks to the lockdown, a lot of small businesses have been hurting. Restaurants, small antique stores, any store that you can think of which is run by a small business. Nothing like a Walmart or a grocery store. Nothing like a big corporation. Those kinds of businesses are taking a massive hit as a result. And I've shown in one of my previous videos that already unemployment has soared to over 20 million people, thanks to the coronavirus situation that we're dealing with in the entire country at large. I would not be surprised if Michigan is being hard hit as a result, having a good portion of its 10 million population being unemployed. I would not be surprised. But there's a good news to all this. There is a good news. Lawmakers, after disapproving on the extension of the lockdown orders and stay at home, they have decided to issue a resolution, which, by the way, it was passed, which allowed the state legislature to be sued to sue the governor over her authority and her dealings over the situation with the coronavirus and her handling of the state of emergency powers. This could potentially happen. This could potentially, the legislature could sue the governor and take her to the Supreme Court. And I honestly think that, considering the law that I mentioned before, she would definitely lose. I honestly, considering the outlining of the law in plain daylight, she would definitely lose. It's completely on the side of the legislature. However, at the same time, I would say that this is more of a warning. The passing of the resolution is more of a warning. It's not entirely concrete whether the legislature would actually go on to sue. Right now, it may be a possibility, especially with what Gretchen Whitmer actually did with extending the lockdown and issuing new executive orders as a result. But nonetheless, it's both a clear message and it's obvious that the state legislature would definitely use this power to take her to court. And I honestly believe 100% that they will win. And even if somehow that the court rules in favor of the governor, that would just only anger the people of Michigan even more. This has even caught widespread national attention from higher up. President Donald Trump went so far as to tweet his support for the protesters, arguing that Michigan should reopen, arguing that the governor and her use of her powers in the state of emergency are being abused, heavily abused. And from what I see and with the evidence gathered, I 100% agree. Again, I understand the necessity of these lockdowns and stay-at-home orders. But the state of Michigan, or the Governor Gretchen Whitmer, has went so far as to go around the overall process of extending these orders, intentionally violating state law. I think that this is just going to hurt her as a result. And it's going to hurt the state of Michigan overall. Because, like I said before, the lockdown is having a heavy economic impact. It's obviously showing, like I said before, on a national level. Hopefully, I'm hopeful that the United States overall will potentially recover very fast as a result when we eventually do open up as a country. But nonetheless, it's with the extension, the economy in Michigan is definitely going to take a hit. And considering that the fact that she went so far as to go around the entire process of intentionally saying screw you to the state legislator, it's just going to hurt her popularity. And a lot of people are actually calling for her impeachment. I would not be surprised if there would be a potential challenge. After all, the state legislature went so far as to actually pass a resolution which gives them the power to sue the governor over this issue. I don't think the governor is going to... I honestly do not believe that the governor of Michigan is going to get out of this scot-free. She's already becoming unpopular with the populace, with the residents of Michigan, and now the legislature is fighting against her. And they both the populace and the legislature, are having the backing of President Trump. and that is going to be a major hurdle for Governor Whitmer. I would highly suggest, in her case, that she stopped with the extension of these orders. But I honestly don't think that's going to happen, because she's already issued the extension of these orders on Thursday. But I would not be surprised if a lot of people decided to just overall ignore these orders. I would not be surprised, and I'm willing to bet that there will be more people rising up against the governor as a result of her actions. My name is Noah Meehan on The Arc Truth. Please post your comments down below, like this video, subscribe, and share with friends. Also, if you have any issues regarding my videos, such as how I speak, how I make my videos, or any other improvements or subjects you want me to look into, please post them down in the comment section below or directly message me. Thank you.
Almost